All right, what's good, everyone? It's CryptoFrog's Gems. We're super excited for today's second AMA of today. It's with BFK Warzone. These guys are, the team consists of Matt, Jaden, and let me get the last guy, V. Super excited about this one. A fellow whale of the Poo Chain team. It's not team, but he works with the team and stuff like that. And he referred me to these guys, and they got a lot of stuff planned. They got their own app. It's like a play to earn game. And I'm super excited about this one. You guys are really gonna like the project review we did on this. Basically, a specialized 2D shooter gaming ecosystem, and basically their goals consist of. Let me read down here quickly. Let me just make sure I got. I made a couple edits. Jaden and Matt helped me with that, so. Let me just pull that up real quick before we begin. Get heavy into everything. Hold up. Okay. So basically we're gonna get into their goals. What they basically want to do is overall provide a cheap, fast, and fun gaming experience for all by bringing two massive industries. The play video games and crypto, play to earn. They're also focused on real-world partnerships to establish ties to gaming and cryptocurrency institutions to distinguish itself from other projects who fail to deliver time and time again. So I'm excited to see, play to earn games. They're pretty hyped back in like 2021. So I'm excited to see, what makes their game, any different from any other play to earn game, and what makes their model, sustainable in the end. So if possible, just introduce you guys a little bit, how you got into crypto, and then basically how'd you guys come up with the idea of BFK itself?
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is V. I'm the founder and CEO of BFK Warzone. Have been doing this for 15 to 16 months so far with my team. And as CryptoFrog just introduced, Matt is our CMO and Jaden is our creative director. We constitute of the core team of BFK, and we've been working on solving the biggest problems in P2E, just putting them in one game, which is BFK Warzone. So yeah, the idea of BFK Battle Fort Knox came initially from, the type of simple gaming that we wanted on the engagement and the shooter side. So as the name said, Battle Fort Knox, we've been discussing, and I like the idea of fighting in the blockchain, bringing the story up from the blockchain side, and we just did it like a fight in between the ETH side and the BSC side. As you know, we are deployed on the BSC. We started on the BSC chain, so we concluded that the gamers or the users are going to have their own fort, and these soldiers, we call them forties, hence the fort name, and they're going to be defending the fort and defending the gold, which is the property of every investor. The aliens are playing the role of the ETH side. We call them Ethereum aliens. So technically, they're going to be attacking the BSC side, and this is where the story came from. That's why it's called Battle Fort Knox, and Knox based on the defensive side. And we called it eventually BFK Warzone because it's a war zone, it's a fight, it's a 2D game, it's a shooter game, and it's going to be an FPS also game in the future on the 3.0 version of it. So this is just a quick introduction of the name BFK Warzone and the idea that came behind it. And just in a quick introduction, the game is a very simple game. We've been really concentrating on solving a lot of problems in the complex side from the blockchain. So it's a game first, and it's a token in a second way. And we are concentrating on the story, as I said. And we believe that blockchain gaming is too early now at the stage where the blockchain is the guest and gaming is at its pinnacle, as you guys know. So I do know that just introducing the blockchain in gaming is a little bit of a process, and we need to do it in a simple matter just to introduce the classic gamers to the blockchain and make it accessible for everyone. The game is available on App Store, Google Play, and it's on desktop too. And as you guys have seen, we are here. We've been doing everything in reverse. So we built the project first. We prepared everything, and we are deployed. And the game is working now, actually. And we have Apple on the review. We're going through with them for like around 3 weeks so far. We're already deployed on Google Play, already available on desktop. We got our ratings. And what's beneath the surface in BFK is far beyond than just a game. It's a complete system that work all together. And I'm gonna just let Jaden now get you a little bit more into introduction. This is just a quick brief at where we are sitting, and then we're gonna go to the technicals after that. Jaden.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, good morning, everybody. As I say, from Sydney, Australia, Matt and I here, and V's our wonderful Lebanese genius who's travelling at the moment, but usually based in Dubai. So, as V just said, Battle Fort Knox, it's simple NFT 2D shooter games built on the blockchain, playable on mobile and PC. V is a very, very passionate gamer, and we built this project for gamers, make no mistake about it. And it's an awesome game. Like you can play it 1v1, you can play in group battles, you can team up against a common enemy. And as V said, the game itself, the players are basically charged with the task of protecting the gold, which is ultimately their investment. And it's a bit of a homage to the crypto space in general, but it's so much fun. It's really simple to navigate, but we've made it complex enough that we hook real gamers into learning and spending time on it, because ultimately the better you get at it, the more you earn from it. So with like any successful game, blockchain or not, it's skill based. So you rank up in the game by spending time in it rather than just the kills you make. But it looks fantastic, and our feedback is from the people that are now playing it, it's highly, highly addictive, and that's exactly what we wanted. But I guess the most important thing with this project is that it's done. As V said, it's not coming, it's not under development, it's here. We launched about 4 weeks ago, so we are, we're very, very new, but we launched the token and the game at the same time. We're already on Google Play. We are days away from being on iOS. iOS, we were ready to go, and then they moved the goalposts about 2 weeks prior to our launch in the way that they handled their in-app purchases and things. So we've been working very, very closely with Apple, and we're getting all the approvals through now. So that's days away. We're already on desktop as well. So that is the most important thing about the game right now. You're investing in a project that is already done. We're not making promises. We have fulfilled it. So the game and token are live. But also, as V has said, the game itself is just the tip of the iceberg. It's built on an ecosystem which goes way beyond that. So I'm going to hand back to V to kind of talk you through some of the complexities that we've built to try and solve all of the issues that have up until now killed GameFi projects. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Jaden. So in the term of complexity that Jaden was mentioning is that the game is just not built, in the terms of getting on and fighting. So first of all, we have 4 layers that we needed to think of. One of the first one was how to engage players on any platform through any desk or any computer or any kind of multimedia unit they have to just acquire them and just get them, rolling. That's why BFK is working on a cross-platform system type of technology. So the cross-platform technology system will allow us to just access all the multimedia units or the computers, anything that you have, that you can access the internet from, allowing you, to just put yourself on the browser. This is just from the accessibility side, that allowing everyone just to be there, available on mobile, as I said. And we are expanding even more, not just Apple, iOS, we're moving on also to Huawei and any other store we are providing in. We are also locking in for the future on Steam. Now, part of the technical solution we have is the inflation. As you guys know, part of the most problematic thing on any P2E since 2021 I've seen is inflation. That means basically the contract is just eating itself, taking out the profits off the chart and just, getting these tokens available and even available more, and then just draining the liquidity down. To solve this, we have created an algorithm that can connect in between the blockchain and the game, and it can calculate earnings based on the ratio of the market cap we are sitting at, and also on different structure type inside of the game. This is just the basics of it. There's more into it. We will explain them furthermore. In the security side, BFK also believes in just providing the best layers of security. We have a 10-factor system security running from our servers up to our front end, the user accessibility, which we introduced the KYC with BlockPass. I'd like to mention also happily that we are KYB approved. We are one of the first games actually to get this. You can find us on blockpass.com/marketplace. We're sitting next to Engine Starter and other incubators there as a game, as a project. That's why all our users are actually going through a process of KYC, because we believe in security. We are trying to comply with the future of blockchain, the stability, and the process that secures, our community in between each other. Stability, scalability, and sustainability, these 3 points just work together. And on this point, I like to mention that to do this, we have maintained a ranking system inside of the game to make the game effort-based in general. As you guys know, in terms of allowing somebody to play a game and just getting rewards based on it, we believe that effort-based rewards are the most, kind of logical things to have in a game, where gamers give their best, and users from coming in from the blockchain also, they're gonna be engaged, by the assets of the game on their best. This is gonna equate in both of them on just enjoying the marketplace and at the same time the game. Gamers who do not have assets, to invest in BFK, they can just play the game, enjoy the ranking system, try to get some effort in it, put some time into it, and grow it up and just make it stronger, and then reinvest in it. And then our investors can sit on our marketplace, use our different available sections like farming. We have the staking in, and we have different kind of thoughtful offerings inside of the game that you need to discover on the marketplace. It's pretty complex, but these are the basics, and they can go onto an auction like eBay. We have also a different NFT contracts that are running on our forties. There are soldiers, we have equipments, we have weapons, we have power-ups. So it's diverse. It's an ecosystem that indulge people to stay in, to use. That's why it's on the stability purpose and the sustainability purpose. It's just covering, the environment for players, giving them more reason to stay in. Scalability wise, as you guys know, it's a 2D game. It's very lightweight and it's accessible for everyone. It's a shooter type of game, and this will allow us, to acquire a lot of players. As you guys know, shooter type games on mobile are really trending, and they go off for years to go. Just like Angry Birds when they started, it wasn't the type of shooter on a shooter, but was the first cartoon kind of physics-driven 2D game that just blew up. So we are looking at ourselves, on the easy fashion, accessible for everyone. You can just play BFK anytime you want, when you have like 20 to 30 minutes available. On the other side, discussing the income stream on BFK that we have thought of, this is also will allow us, on the long term to have sustainability in our project. We are taking it really seriously. As I said, in the inflation side, cash flow usually kills projects when you don't have it. Eating itself, just taking off the blockchain and taking off the chart. That is why BFK has introduced multiple income streams, and some of them are based on the tangible side that we have, which is our toys. And so BFK is tackling this side not just on the quality, but also on how we are looking, to provide the future of this game. We believe that the tangible toys, we're going to give a lot more connection, and this is going to be a new introduction for the NFT base, just like AAA games are doing, and specifically, on the Marvel side, Marvel Studios side, as you guys know. So we've been taking this very seriously. That's why all our NFTs that we have, some of them have they have their own toys, available for free based on the rarity. So they're gonna get shipped, and some of them are just available there, for purchase. Part also of our merch store that I'm gonna discuss now. Secondly, we have our merch store, and the merch store has like probably more over like 220 items and a lot more of kind of proprietary inventions that we're gonna implement in this store. Some of them are technically like purchasable. IFS, we call them technology miners. So there's a lot more into BFK in terms also on the technology side rather than the game. So the merch store is just securing this for us. We have many income streams, guys, on the electronic side, of also on NFT artifacts, as I said. So we're going to be building these. We have an IFS technology kind of token coming in later, but now we are just preparing for it. So we are building the contracts for it. And we have the merchandise stores, which I just discussed. And there is, even inside of the game, there is a lot of ways that we are trying to equate into our income in a logic way, having a standard tax fee of 4% all over the marketplace. So now moving on what makes the game special, we have an effort-based ranking system, which I just said. Players have to spend time, they have to play, they have to counter-attack, they have multiple kind of game formats they can use, like team deathmatch, they have co-op, they have 5v5, and they have PvE, which is the player-versus environment. So we have multiple ranking system available that can allow you to rank from 1 to over 300. But at first start, we are opening them in batches. And the ranking system is based on the army unit. So it's just like the army. It's very simple to acquire and it's very close to the heart. For the tech in relationship on how we are making the income stream happen and the earning, we have a contract called Central Wallet. This is our main middle wallet that connects your game to the blockchain. And this is going to be responsible for allowing you, to engage with the game, stay virtual, and keep the blockchain on its side to make things go fast. We don't want, to rely on the blockchain speed, because if you look at the games like lightning fast speeds, and it's usually connecting only with the server, while the blockchain is just dealing with a lot of RPCs and connection. You have to wait, network validation you have to wait for, which is too slow for gaming. That's why we separated them and we kept them engaged at the same time. Our matchmaking system also is relying on the latest tech. We are using them with a third-party company called Photon. It's very known and it's been using by Lego Brawls also. So multiple games on a AAA level side are using them for the matchmaking system. We have it incorporated in BFK. We have an advanced auction system that is close to eBay. So it's just not like, put them on auction. It's blockchain based. It's also encrypted, that we have, worked on it on our marketplace. So all it's custom built. And it's based on 4-layered, like eBay style kind of auction, where you can set, multiple time points and the minimum and maximum that we'd like to acquire for your NFT before it gets sold. The AI system that we have is the PvE, which is the alien. So we are including an AI system that allows the non-human kind of point player to attack in a very randomistic way and playing smart. So this is going to get included, and it's working in it's going to be a gameplay that's going to be added on a PvE, which we call them BFK events, where we fight the alien. 20 players are going to be fighting them with this technology. And also we have the economic algorithm that I just mentioned that controls almost everything in our game and connects it in a very smart way. So this is it in terms of the pillars of BFK and why it made it so special. We have thought of each sector in the highest quality matter. For the security, as I said, we have implemented the KYC with BlockPass, and that was a big milestone for us. For whoever doesn't know BlockPass also have their own digital kind of identity regulation and documentation and verification system. So we are not relying on anything manual on our side. This is everything automated. And the benefit of using these digital solution, and alternatives for the traditional methods is that it's on the blockchain. So when users gonna KYC, usually they do it on their self on an own platform. We are able also to link their wallets, and we are able to activate AML to provide security and activate earnings in a secure fashion when we know who are the users and how we are dealing with them peer-to-peer. And in relationship to our business plan, we have built a very extensive white paper. This is nothing like you've seen, on a template base. And this is something that we have done so much. We have put our soul in it on a very, very large, extensive way, where we mention in a very storytelling way every point we have done since 15 months until the ones that are going to be coming, from now on to the V3 section. And the responsibility in this project lies off not just on me as the founder. I have an amazing team also with me. So our core team is just set by 3 now. As I said, we have Jaden again as our creative director. He's taking care of our creatives since probably the third or second months of launching BFK since 2021. He has around 30 years to 35 years of collective experience in the film and TV industry. So Jaden is more than the perfect person, to deal with these kind of creators, building the story and a lot more that probably we're going to be discussing also, we're going to be guys showing you. On the other hand, we have Matt also. Matt is our Chief Marketing Officer. Matt also shares the same thing like Jaden, around 30 years in advertising and marketing experience. And he worked on multiple international local ad agencies and several leading publishers around the world. And I am really happy to hand off this, to this amazing team, because this is not just, a blockchain type of team. We are a traditional type of team, and I have myself around 12 to 14 years of experience in gaming, and 3 degrees in gaming. I also from BA to masters, and now working on my PhD. So this is the type of experience, this is the type of passion we're trying to bring into the project, and we are trying, just to shape things the way we can. Now, in terms of why we are sitting on the blockchain now, why we are doing it, you guys know that blockchain is the internet of 2022. This is the new era that's going to shape 10 years, 20 years, maybe 50 years ahead. The technology is amazing, and we are trying to put ourselves first in what we love the most, which is gaming. I want you to consider just this. If you look at the numbers, we have in the traditional gaming around 250 billion in total market value in gaming. That was around 2021. This is expected to rise another 100 million, in the 5 years to come, and specifically in the Eastern countries and Asian countries. The entire market size of the blockchain is now just roughly around 2 billion, which is probably less than 1%. This is how massive this domain is, and this is how much time and how much effort and how much creative things we can put into this, building the future of gaming. So the market is just in a very infant stage, and I would like now Jaden just to move you forward a little bit more on putting where BFK started and how we are projecting ourselves in the future, discussing a little bit on the traditional gaming and the blockchain gaming. Jaden?
Thanks, V. Yeah, it's such a powerful image, that last one, with the just the scope of growth and exponential growth that we know is coming. It's very rare that you are presented with such a clear opportunity. So in any business, let alone something like this. So we know that traditional gamers are our target market. And how we do that, we need to do things differently to other blockchain games. As V said right from the outset, the blockchain was always going to be the passenger on this particular journey, not the driver. So we are our goal is to bring traditional gamers to the blockchain and not the other way around, which is why being on multiple platforms and sitting up in the App Store, in Google Play, in all of the usual places that gamers turn to find their next entertainment. We need to be there, and we not only need to be there, we need to be sitting up there and look the same, play the same. V just did a great interview with Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, sorry, a few weeks ago, and they talked about what is the issue, why has blockchain gaming really not taken off, and BitBoy's answer was really clear. He's just said because the quality is not there. The quality needs to be there, and everyone is so focused on the blockchain side of things that they've forgotten the fact that they actually need to make a game that is interesting and engaging and challenging and entertaining and addictive for gamers. And so that was from the outset, that was our number one priority, and that's what we've been looking at. And we know that to be able to do that, it does need to be across all of the platforms. So it's available, as we said, on Play Store. It's going to be available on App Store within days. It's already on desktop as well. So having it across all of those platforms is incredibly important. And the reason why we've done it as a 2D game to start with is that we know that everyone sees us as the BFK Warzone, and so they instantly want to compare us to things like Fortnite or Call of Duty and so forth. But we're not trying to be that just yet. We are trying to develop something that is playable and available across all technologies. We've seen so many blockchains that have burst out of the gates with these massive spec 3D games that require the very latest devices to even drive the technology. And for us, it seems crazy to shut the door on 90 to 95% of our potential gaming audience. We decided to do it the other way around. And rather than go for that big 3D, we based our model on something like Angry Birds, which was that simple model, and we'll be scaling up from there. But the beauty of our game is that we know, particularly in the play-to-earn market, our big audiences are going to be on the subcontinent. They're going to be in Southeast Asia. They're going to be in South America. And these are places where people don't necessarily have access to the latest and greatest technology. We're going to have gamers there playing on iPhone 6s and so forth. So we have made sure that we have built this game that is playable. We've tested it on all of the old devices, right down to an iPhone 6, so that we're not actually closing the door on this market, which is incredibly important. We want to bring people with us on this journey, not try to force people into joining us right at the very top rung of the ladder. It just does not make sense at all, and I can't understand why other projects are even contemplating that. So that's kind of the model. We're saying, don't think of this as a Call of Duty just yet. Think of this as an Angry Birds. And you have a look at what they've done with their business model, from that simple 2D game structure right through to increasing and improving the graphics, to becoming a 3D feature film, which went on to make hundreds of millions of dollars in the box office. They created a brand. They created an entertainment brand and a franchisable commodity. And that's, again, what our plan for BFK is, to do exactly that. So you'll see on the next slide what it kind of looks like at the moment today, right this second. Oh no, we've cut the slide out. Sorry. So these are our 40s. These are our soldiers, and this shows the evolution of our soldiers. So it started with a very simple drawing from V in terms of what our very first 40 looked like. This is Armus. He's our snow sniper. And each of these 40s has a backstory. Each of them is a character. Each of them has a special ability. So we know the importance to bring traditional gamers in this is to really focus on the game side and the story. It's something that just gets underrated so much, and people don't understand the importance of it. So the story is first and foremost, and particularly from a creative point of view, this is the bit that I'm most passionate about being involved in BFK. We've taken these little characters, these little 40s, and we've breathed life into them. We've given them a heartbeat, and we're bringing them to life. So this has been our goal all along, and this is what we're doing. You can see the evolution of these 40s. They'll all be playable as actual NFTs in the game. So once again, each NFT has a utility, but at the moment we've got about 15 different 40s. We expect to have about 100 as we go along and as we develop. And, each of them, as I say, has got a backstory. Now, we're going to attempt to play a little video this morning. If the connection's bad, we'll also post the video in the main CryptoFrog's group there. But this is a bit of we're doing now these small vignettes which introduce one character at a time and introduce a little bit about what their special ability is. But to talk again about what we were discussing. Oh, sorry, Matt, is that come out of the presentation? Do you want to try and throw to it, or should I?
Yeah, no. Feel free to keep sharing. I don't know.
Okay, perfect. So what we're about to show you, if we can show it, if not, we'll post it in the main room. This is the first of our 40s. Now, again, we're talking about the level of quality that we are adhering to, and that we know we need to meet if we are going to stand up next to the big game, the massive gaming studios that are putting out this kind of quality, and for gamers, traditional gamers, to take us seriously. So this is our first kind of character story. This is our snow sniper that you just saw, and you'll see how far he's come from that little 2D, hand drawing by V, to where we've got to today. And we're introducing these stories for every single character. We're working on the next one as we speak. But this is Armus. Hope you enjoy. Awesome. So usually there is a beautiful music soundtrack to that, which we didn't hear, but we will post it in the main group, and so that you can have a look at in the quality that done.
Quick thing before we move on to the next part, because I know sometimes the videos, what happens is some people don't have like the strongest computers. So what ends up happening is that when sometimes they'll play like these videos and such, it'll just crash. So we'll just wait like 1 to 2 minutes, just for everyone to join back a little bit, because I saw it jumped down a little bit and then it's going back up.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, I totally agree with your point when you mentioned about, you know, the storyline and stuff like that. I've always mentioned that, you know, if you're able to, you know, find like a thing that's kind of like a secret gem in business, then like you're kind of golden. So I guess for my sense, my stuff was TikTok. So it was kind of something that separated me from the rest and stuff like that. And that's where I gathered a decent amount of audience. But no one on Telegram was using TikTok as an advertising platform. It was only me. Right. So
yeah, exactly. We're looking at it as a very serious audience.
Yeah, basically. So I totally get where you're coming from when you're talking about, you know, having these own stories and stuff like that. But you know, before you mentioned, you know, that these guys had like their own backstory and everything, I was just curious. I was like, okay, you know, these guys have like their own soldiers and stuff like that. But there's, for Angry Birds, for example, because you mentioned Angry Birds, there's what makes them, you know, unique and stuff like that. They have like their little character names. So like the yellow guy's named Chuck, I think. The red one is just named Red, and there's Bomb, and then there's all them. So it's great to have a little story behind each of the characters. Like you have the sniper guy, the sniper guy that has his own little backstory where he used to live in the hut, and he's, you know, in the Alps or something like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
It's really important, particularly I'd often tell the story when I was a kid growing up with Star Wars. You know, the toys, the reason the merchandise became so popular is not because they just happened to make toys. It's the fact that they built the characters. And when I was a kid and went to school with my Star Wars toys, I didn't take toys. I took Luke Skywalker. I took Darth Vader. I took Han Solo. I took the characters, and I fell in love with the characters, not the toys. And it's very, very important. And you know, being in the industry that I've been in and being exposed, you know, I've sat at the Cannes Film Festival, and I've had meetings with Hasbro talking about some of their successful, you know, in a television world, things like Thomas the Tank Engine and Bob the Builder and things like that have been successful. It's all based on the character. It's got nothing to do with the fact that it's an injection molded toy. It's the character that they've built in the background, and the toy is the physical manifestation of that. So we certainly understand the psychology of gaming, and we understand the psychology of storytelling and building these characters into something that becomes a collectible item. And when we're talking NFTs, you know, that's the most important thing. And I don't think a lot of people have actually got that at the moment. The art of storytelling seems to be lost, at least on the blockchain side. So that's what we're trying to kind of get blockchain to catch up with what the gaming industry and what, you know, movies and television and everyone has known for decades. The blockchain has not quite caught up with there yet, because they've been building utilities for the sake of building utilities, because they want to get, you know, the newest and greatest out there on the technology. But that's never going to work.
%. You know, and you mentioned earlier about that comment with BitBoy. I think that was very important as well. What people need to understand is that, you know, a game that was, I guess, that was quote unquote kind of fun, and you know, it looked like an actual game that was produced. It was Axie Infinity, and I guess people remember how that happened in the bull run. It went absolutely nuts. $4 or $5 billion market cap, something like that. So it was crazy. It was very, very crazy. But I'm just like, you know, curious about, you know, let's say I hear about BFK, you know, I hear about it in the chat somewhere, and you know, I like the interest and stuff like that. And on first glance, you know, of the project website, what features, you know, are displayed that entices new players, you know, to download the game and just, you know, give it a try?
Yeah, so that's what we're focusing on now, and V's going to go into this a little bit to show, you know, some of the benefits, some of the things that, again, traditional gamers are used to, having a marketplace and a dashboard and all of these utilities available to them. But also we will be focusing from a marketing perspective, and then Matt will touch on this a little bit later in the presentation, but we'll be focusing the marketing activity around that so that people will understand more about what is actually BFK, because our marketing is kind of split into two sections at the moment. There's blockchain and there's gaming, but I'll let Matt address that, because there's definite synergy around that and structure in place to address that. But I'll hand over to V to talk through some of the really cool marketplace stuff.
Thanks, Jaden. So this is the heart and soul of BFK. This is like the central hub, if you want to call it, the CPU of BFK, the core. And why did we concentrate on the marketplace that much is because this is going to be the center point for all evolution of BFK. As I said, the ultimate plan is just to get a 3.0 version of BFK, which is a 3D version FPS. Keeping up the 2D version, so we have like two different environments, two different universes that are going to be connected together. That's the dream of BFK. This is the new type of the verses, and everyone called them metaverse. We do not believe in a metaverse at this stage. We believe in multiple universes that are connecting together, not just sitting in one that has many. The thing is about BFK, we built this marketplace to connect all the players in one place, as the traditional gamers are used to. As any players here is hearing me knows this, we always have one place when we deal with everything, and this should be also the same thing on the blockchain. That's why our marketplace is just separated in four very simple sections. We have the top left side, which is your profile. As much as you always find it in the top section or the right section, this is always your profile in the game. On the left side, we have the menu that's going to drive you through the game, through the multiple offerings that we have on this marketplace. We have the central dashboard, which is the summary of everything that's happening, which is going to be customizable at the later stage. We have the top menu side, which is going to be, this is like your display hub that shows you everything that is on the metric base that you need to know, including your wallet, including the price of BFK, the central wallet, which is the connection in between the virtual world on the blockchain side. We have also your NFT counts and how many players are playing online, because obviously a lot of players want to know, is there anyone else on them, just so they get excited and join and just fight. We have the settings, obviously. So the main thing about BFK is that how do you want to deal with your 40s? How do you want to use those soldiers, and how do you want to just rank them? Everything happens here. That's the beauty of it. You have a central place, either or you're playing on mobile, either or you're playing on PC, or you're just loading it from the browser or anywhere you are. This is your central place where you come in, check your NFTs. We capture them automatically from your wallet. We have the latest advancement in technology we have attached to this. We have partnered with Amazon AWS Activate, part of their founders program. So we are included on their cloud gaming. We are using everything they are offering on speed, technology, and just, straight to putting them in BFK. All our NFTs are 1155 protocol NFTs. That means the tech we are using is basically on the engine side usually. And it's very lightweight. It's a speedy NFT, and it will allow us actually just to mint many of them and keeping a lot of information in these NFTs, to just paste them into the blockchain world. Whenever you want to trade them, whenever you want to use them, we want to expand them. So these NFTs are very clear, and you can see that what is the level of information we're providing in the about section of each soldier, not just to looking, at the picture. There's a multiple use case for these soldiers, not just playing the game, but also engaging with the NFTs that are the weapons. And, you can just rank both of them at the same time. We started now with the 40s contract, but you're gonna be able to see later that we have multiple ones. You can check that we have the states showing all sorts of information you want, and every metric in these guys is upgradable. There's nothing that is not upgradable in this game. As much as you put effort, you rank them, you upgrade them, you update them, and you upgrade your blockchain side. This is the beauty of how we did it, and this is just on the 40 side. You have also your profile side that is showing the same thing and allowing you, to rank your commander level, which allow you to also to empower more your NFTs. So this marketplace has systematically an earning control and a seasoning type of earning. It's going to happen on Christmas and later on. We have a ranking profile control and player control, NFT control, all of them, each one separately getting connected on its own ranking system. The latest in security, there's 2FA, two-factor authentication in this. We have the funding code also enabled in this. We have email verification. We also have direct implementation of Zendesk support. We got also partnered with Zendesk on their founders program, and we already are providing a full knowledge base with a help center completely with community moderators that actually answer you and just follow you through tickets. So the marketplace is very robust. I can go on and on for hours, but I want to just talk also about other than just the 40s. What empowers the game? What gives it, the kind of why should I stay playing this game other than ranking? This is the power-ups that every player loves them. These are the things that everyone wants them usually and just want to set himself aside. We call them Infinity Nox cards. And these are just getting through from the alien power. And these are exclusive rare NFTs. They are cards that empower you. They give you a lot of XP, a lot of different, kind of perks, percentages, and they cover all your entire army. And this is not just by the Infinity Noxes, but this is just to give it a twist and a taste. Some of them are consumables, and some of them are Eternals, and some of them access you. A lot of technologies are coming into BFK. These are already available. We have 103 of them already acquired. These are the gold ones, and we have the emerald, we have the platinum, and we have the elite ones. This is a full diverse game, and it has a lot of similarities to the traditional side. It's nothing, to be surprised of. It's something to discover. I'm going to move now to Matt to discuss more about the way we are earning in this game and the way we are just enveloping everything together. Matt?
Yeah, thanks very much, V. So as we've said, in order to engage and retain a traditional gamer and pull those players over into a blockchain game, it is really important to make sure that those players are less aware of playing a blockchain game and they're more just aware of playing a game. And that's the way to engage any player. And so, but on top of that, we still the fundamentals of a play to earn game require that there's a way that you are able to earn rewards. And so our earning system and the ability for someone within our ecosystem to earn comes on multiple different facets. So we've talked about earning from the commander rank that you have, and you're able to you up rank your commander level by an effort within playing the game rather than something like number of kills. We've got investor focused earning capability as well in the form of things like staking. There's an opportunity for you to buy and sell your NFTs within the game, and there's as well as profit that you are able to make on the token. There's obviously some very highly limited numbers of NFTs in some of those different characters, and we've already seen some of those go for quite large sums of money. The using things like the armory and in order to enhance your NFTs also increases their value. And all of this happens within a secure ecosystem. And we've talked about the reasons for KYCing. We only use KYC within our earning ecosystem. It's got nothing to do with not necessary to participate in the token as a normal investor. But within that ecosystem of ours, we need to make sure that what we're doing is dealing with real people. So talking a bit more about staking, we've got a very, very robust staking system that runs on, there's 3 different options spanning from 90 days out to 360 days. As players earn rewards within the game, it's really important to have options like this to enable them to invest and maximize those rewards. It helps with retaining players, and it helps with retaining tokens within the game environment. So it's an assistance with inflation, and it reduces sell pressure on the chart, those sorts of things, which are all very important from an investor's perspective. Our tokenomics, we have run over the initial launch period. We played with our taxes a little bit and had some higher sell taxes and some lower buy taxes for the first few weeks of launch. We're at the point where these are just coming back to our standard level, which is 9% buy and 9% sell. We have an ETH launch upcoming in the early part of next year, but as we've said, we're on the BSC chain now. As a company, from both an investor's point of view and also the longevity of BFK and the things that will come after, and expanding into these other revenue streams that we've touched on, such as toys and movies and those sorts of things, it's important that there is a structure around that which is business-like, and that's what we have set up. We've headquartered ourselves in the UAE, which is the global headquarters of Web3 and blockchain and crypto, or is certainly setting out to become that. We're set up under an organisation over there which is registered in the UAE. We have trademark applications and copyright applications, and so this has been set up to operate as a long-term business, no doubt. And BFK is the first of what we hope will be a number of games that will come out of this business, which will allow us to leverage some of the proprietary technology that we have developed to not only improve the playability of BFK, but improve the things that will come after that. We've also mentioned the merchandise store. Now, from a merchandise store is something which is very common in traditional gaming, and it was really important for us to be able to get this live as a validation of our determination to be appealing to traditional gamers. The benefit from this is, I mean, it does fund that need, if you like, or it fulfills that need of a dedicated and passionate holder to be able to want to buy something with some branding on it. And I mean, we see daily sales through this store. From a marketing perspective, it does get some brand awareness out there as well. And having a physical thing in the real world, which has got the brand of a crypto business on it and a gaming business on it, really helps solidify the seriousness of that business and the longevity of that as a product. And that's a very important benefit for us and a very important benefit for investors. The way that we're tackling going to market is very non-blockchain. So we realize that our biggest asset by far is the game. And so the strategy that we are taking is to market the game, and the token will sell itself as a result of that. We're rolling out a go-to-market strategy. As you know, we only launched the game and the token 4 weeks ago or thereabouts. And so what we're doing at the moment is trying to build our brand awareness through the groups of investors, which is why we're doing events such as this one with people like yourselves. And we know that the overall market, stocks and crypto at the moment, is a little bit soft, and that we are anticipating that improving over the next couple of months and having quite a positive market in 2023. So our role at the moment is to get our name out there, get our brand out there, so that people who realise that BFK at the moment is an unbelievable buy opportunity at the market cap and price that it is, can take advantage of that. And people who are just waiting for things to look like there's a little bit of a brighter light at the end of the tunnel know who we are and get an opportunity to be able to do their research of us as a project. We know that the information that we provide in things like our white paper is very comprehensive, and it takes some time to study that. And we also know that any potential investor that does take the time to look at things like that and look through our site and watch some of our AMAs and see what our community is like will realise how serious BFK is and what the investment opportunity of BFK is. You'll see our marketing activities start to become more mainstream gaming focused as we get into the early part of next year. We've got a number of strong partnerships. We've spent a long time in our development, through our development roadmap so far. It's quite unusual, as I'm sure you will know, to see a game with a full functioning utility launch alongside the launch of a token. And that's something that we were very passionate about getting right. we've participated in some big conferences. We've spoken on stage at some big conferences. We've got some really solid connections with some huge companies and some very large VC firms and things like that throughout the blockchain industry. And we know that the time that we have put into forging those partnerships is going to be key to our success as the market starts to turn around, and particularly from an investor's perspective. And we think that any investor looking at where they can put some of their portfolio in the end of 2022 and the early part of 23, they will realise that blockchain gaming is an area that is poised for tremendous growth, and it is also an area where you have to be cautious and you have to look around and make sure that the project that you find is a serious one, and that they have done the pre-thinking and got the systems built to make sure that the life of that project is going to be long, beneficial for all, and profitable. And that's certainly the position that we have placed BFK Warzone in. We've been trading relatively sideways over the last 4 weeks since our launch, as we've started to roll out some of this sort of basic marketing and brand awareness effort, and we're really happy with that. We've had so many discussions with major VC firms who have looked at our chart and said, given what is going on in the market, you guys have just done an awesome job in maintaining that movement and maintaining a relatively solid degree of stability, just getting yourself poised to move into next year. We know that the money that comes from VC firms, it's a bit lighter and a bit harder to get around Christmas and around this sort of time of the year. And certainly the discussions that we're having indicates that once we get into January and February, that money will start to move into the market again. And we're going to get our share of it. And we know that the effect that is going to have on our chart. Whilst we're not concerned about the market cap price that we're sitting at the moment, equally we know that that market cap price results in a token price which is extremely cheap for a project of our sophistication and our level of advancement. And we're confident that the actions that we are taking and the strategy that we are adopting and how we're rolling out marketing and development in the next 3, 6, 12 and 24 months is going to turn BFK into the best known brand in gaming potentially, but certainly blockchain gaming within 2023. I'll throw it back to CryptoFrog if you would like to start some questions. I hope that everybody's gotten a good bit of information out of that presentation and understands the approach that we are taking and how serious this project is and why it is such a good opportunity for investors and a great and entertaining offering for any gamers.
Great presentation, guys. You guys, nailed it on the dot. Definitely a lot of questions that I would have asked, but you guys answered it right away. I was asking about, main competitive advantages over, other play to earn games. But you guys, nailed it out of the ballpark. So that's really great to see. So, as you guys mentioned, in the white paper, BFK has a big team behind this project, helping it grow into innovate. So tell me, tell me a little bit about this. Where do you guys, outsource your game devs? And yeah, just explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, V, do you want to talk about development a little bit?
Sure. Actually, it's been on the first start where we outsourced some developers. I myself have my own type of company in development, in social media and multimedia back in my home country in Lebanon. But also I have presence in the UAE since longer term before, I just came into BFK. So in terms of development, we had our own team, working on this. So it was in-house and outsourced at the same time. At the time being, we have our full team running from Lebanon and from India, accumulating around 27. At one point, we had 27 working on this game. at the time being, we have 7 mainly working, and we have 4 now on the support side and on the maintenance side and debugging side. We have 1 CTO, which is the Chief Technology Officer, that is working directly with me. And I am observing every detail on the development side and on the back end, front end side and the blockchain side, Similarly, just to make sure that this game, survives and just get the best quality, best treatment for the assets and for, the stage we are at this level until we get injected by VCs, hopefully starting 2023.
And from a marketing perspective, I mean, we're running BFK Warzone as a business would run its marketing activities. So we between Jaden and myself, we're able to come up with the marketing strategy and the assets that we will need in order to implement that, as far as any creatives that we will need to build. We have some other people working for. There's another 2 or 3 people working for us as freelancers that help build some of those assets for us. And then we use marketing agencies. And the reason that any organization does that is because it gives you access to a lot more specialized individuals without having to employ those people as full-time people when you only might need them for 10% of their time. And so we've got an agency that we work with that is effectively for English-speaking marketing, and we have another agency that we have started doing some activity in Latin America in Portuguese and Spanish that also have a specialty throughout Asia. So that kind of foreign language or international language, better word for it, from an English-speaking person. The international language markets we also have covered, and that's how we pull together that team.
Okay. So, what was the decision beside, you mentioned before that you guys are going to be launching on ETH earlier next year. So what was, the decision process behind this project, being multi-chained, and what was it, like, why not just stay on BSC? Do you guys, want to expand audience? What's the whole deal behind that?
So from our perspective, I think we're approaching this very, very openly as a game first and foremost, and in order to provide access to as many gamers as possible, you have to not put things up that might be able to block those people from having any level of interest. At its most basic level, that's platforms, and we talked a little bit in our presentation about the importance of being not only on mobile and desktop, and having plans to roll out on things like Steam and other consoles in the future as the game advances, but also being available in the official stores of Play Store and App Store and Huawei Store. And the second, possibly slightly less important, but it's all a person who is a gamer coming into the blockchain space. We want to provide them with as many options as possible as well. And obviously the 2 biggest and dominant chains at the moment are ETH and BSC, and so it's important for us to not have a gamer want to play and earn in our game and us not support their chosen chain, should they be an ETH chain person as opposed to a BNB person.
Yeah, and in terms of scalability also, it's quite important to know that we need to expose ourselves to the NFT market and the gaming market on the godfather of, the NFTs, which is the ETH side. So as you know, the biggest amount of users in the gaming and the most project that started there. So we do not have to underestimate our exposure and increase network scalability, into this. This is part of our plan. And added on also to this, that there is multiple ways of doing this, not just using a crypto bridge. As you guys know, that crypto bridges lately did show that they do not have the efficient and the flexible and the best security, available, because most of them are getting hacked, most of them are getting loopholes. That is why we also decided to wait a little bit more, to figure out some decentralized or centralized bridges, that are able to have chain security far better than, we had in 2021, and a little bit more proven on the security side. We would like also to mention that we're not just jumping on the ETH like this, like just say, yeah, let's open a bridge and let's do it. That doesn't work this way. We have a fully engaged ecosystem in this game and on our blockchain. So we have to rely on very specific tested technologies. That is why we also spoken with Anchor. If you guys know Anchor, they have been working on expanding their technology to allow gamers, and we are actually one of the first games they contacted to discuss the potential of using their technologies, which is their endpoints. We call them remote procedure calls. That means we will allow our game to contact, the e-chain, if you want to call it, far fast than just adding on a custom code specifically for it by using Anchor's RPC. That is why now we did not deploy it yet, because we are not yet on the ETH side, and using this RPC only improved the speed for the stage now, which is really good. But this is not going to expose us only to ETH. Using Anchor's RPC that we already are, agreed on and prepared for and discussed it already, will open us not just for ETH. It will open us to Phantom Network. It will open us to Harmony, open us to multiple one. We can go on Polygon, Solana, you name it. And that technology is going to allow us just one way do it. So it's also a tech stack thing, security thing, and scalable kind of thing that we are thinking all together to just move on. And the best part, we already have our contract audited by Certic, because we know we are planning for it, so there's no delays.
Okay, very interesting. So you guys are in works with and you guys, I know like a lot of projects, I guess, in a sense, they just want to go to ETH, or they do like a bridge in a sense just to get more investors. But you guys, have a whole ecosystem behind it, which is very cool. Very, very interesting. Yes. I really like that. So I don't know if you got into the game modes or such, but like, what different types of game modes, does BFK offer? And if possible, just like quickly describe each one.
Yeah, sure. As I said, we have the TDM team deathmatch. We call it free play now, because this is the drop zone. Everyone is just dropping on the game. They want to test it. They want to see it. It's open for the traditional players and the NFT players, so it doesn't matter. If you have an NFT or not, you can play this game. That's the hybrid system we have. So the team deathmatch is just based on rounds. You go in the game and you start fighting. You get an elimination. It counts, as an elimination on your side. If you get eliminated yourself, you will respawn back again and keep on gaming. Why we decided this way is because technically, I know most of team deathmatches get you eliminated mostly when you just, get killed the first time. But in a fast-paced environment and a game that is just starting, it's really nice to allow the players to have a breather and keep on going, by the round pace. So we have also the ranked 1v1. We have two different mods on these when we go on the ranked side. We have the staked version and the non-staked version. The staked version is like the type of effort-based betting. You put a bet on yourself, and that bet is based on how secure you feel and how controlled you feel over your 40s, how much experience you have, and you can go fight over this bet, against any type of player that can match you at the same bet at the same time. It's based on elimination, and this is also based on round. We have selected the times based on processes and testing, extensive testing with gamers. So we found the best kind of round time for players to play without just feeling, that is just getting too long. And we decided to do this under 400 to 200 players testing this game for over a month, 2 months before taking the decision. The player that actually wins the round gets the XP points on joining, and gets the XP points on elimination per kill, and gets the XP points also on, basically getting the stake and winning the stake. This is how you do it. The most beautiful part about this ranked version is open. So this is a transfer in between players where we do not take any action here. This is assets transfer, it's just like trading. But the thing is that it's just done quickly, fastly in our central wallet. No blockchain transaction required. After that, you can just withdraw the profit based on your rank into your cold wallet. We have also the non-staked version, which is technically a ranking version. You just go play and, you know, fight the other players based on the round system too. And you can actually earn by ranking. This is how it works in BFK. You pull on and you play multiple games. You get XPs. These XP accumulate to skills. The skills accumulate to ranks, and the ranks will airdrop you based on how much if you unlocked this level. So at this point, this is how it works. We have 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, and 5v5. The new two versions that are coming, the PvE, which is an event mod where 20 players get slotted in one event. We will provide 1 ETH worth of rewards, which is the plan. Half of ETH to 1 ETH. And if the 40s are able to destroy that alien, it's like a raid, you know? It's like the raid, it's like the MMO. So we have the spirit on these games. And you have to have different types of 40s to fight it, because obviously you cannot just kill it with a sniper. You need a tanker, you need a support, you need a nuker, and you need a spellmaker, and they mostly call them mages, but this is not mages. This is like special ability 40s, and then you can just try to beat it. If you beat it, the 1 ETH is going to be split in between the players, and it's going to be an ETH. So this is nothing we're going to sell off the chart. This is part of our OT system. We acquire the ETH based on the taxes we get, and we provide this earning back again to the community per 1 event per month. Lastly, we have the arcade mode, which is the mission mode that's going to get implemented. This is part of our story. We are looking to have at least 20 levels in this campaign and expendable. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah. That answered it great. You know, you guys have a lot of game modes and stuff like that. Provide a great explanation as to, you know, for each game mode. Very, very cool. I saw in the white paper that, you know, you guys are trying to raise 900K in funding for fundraising and such. So, you know, where will these funds be allocated? You know, do you guys have a thought out plan to, hey, certain percentages will go to marketing, certain percentages go to development, etc.? Or
yeah, let Jaden and Matt answer this.
Yeah, and mate, I think that you know the white papers obviously followed us through as we got up to our BSC launch. So we did actually have a significant portion of that raised as a result of launching on the BNB chain. So and I'm sure that you can see whilst we have been very, very, very smart with the money that we have invested in game development, and we've gotten tremendously good value for money because of V's ability to find great developers, and he has such a hands-on control about what goes on, and you know absolutely meets with these developers multiple times a day and knows what's being worked on, which lets you control that development cost. But there's a significant amount of money that has been spent in getting the game to the level that it is at the moment. We would be looking with an ETH launch to raise, you know, somewhere in the vicinity of another 400,000, which is fairly typical of a launch, particularly a launch on ETH of a project which is already running successfully on BNB. That money would be split between a number of different things, and so a lot of that would go to development, because the focus of what we are doing is building this game out, building out the additional maps, building out the additional levels, and that there's a lot of work and complexity that is yet to go into BFK. As an engaging game as it is at the moment, it's only going to improve over the next 6 to 12 months. There will be marketing funds as well, and we intend on focusing that marketing activity around the game more so than around the token. And so you won't see us as much advertising on places like PooCoin. You'll certainly see our chart going through the roof on places like PooCoin, but we're not going to be doing a tremendous amount of of crypto advertising, crypto focused advertising, will be in places where you would expect to see marketing from level 1 games, and we know that the more popular the game becomes and the more players the game attracts, the better it is going to be for the project overall, including token investors.
I'll just add to that too, actually. There's different levels of investment too. Obviously, we're looking at institutional investment as well now, and as V said before, and Matt said before, we understand that the landscape around that kind of points to January, February. We've got open dialogues with more than 100 VCs at the moment, which is astonishing. And they're watching us. They're interested in stability in terms of our project. So we know that we've got a lot of eyes on us at the moment. We're also having a lot of other discussions with a lot of other entities as well. But we know at the moment that our income is derived solely right now from transactional taxes. And so we need those taxes in place to drive income and feed the project, which feeds development, which feeds marketing, brings more people in, which continues on that path. We know that for us to look solidly at the future and to see what our true development is, there's the 2D version that exists right now. There's the map on the game where they are in the desert and they're fighting against Fort Knox, but we're going to be introducing new maps, new characters. We're going to put them in the snow where our little snow sniper is. We're going to put them in the jungle. We're going to put them on the beach. There's a lot of development just on the 2D side. But then obviously the eyes on the bigger prize, which is the 3D version, which will be developing, in tangent with the 2D version. There will always be a 2D version of BFK, just again to have that ease of accessibility by a much larger market. So the 3D version of BFK will be a different beast. But we know that once we start down that path, that is a hungry beast that needs to be fed. And we're also quite open about the fact that we don't want to be a token that has taxes forever. So our ultimate goal is to get ourselves into a position where we're sustainable as a business, where we're not relying on transactional taxes, which means then we can actually go and start having serious conversations with the centralized exchanges, and we can ultimately reduce and then finally eradicate taxes. So that's the end goal. It has to be for a project like us with such a long roadmap. You'd be interested to know that we've got an upcoming AMA with the global head of gaming for Binance. Now, I'm not saying that for any other reason than to show that these are the kind of institutions that we are having discussions with and that are looking at us. So Ahmed, we've had many discussions with, and I'm not using this as part of a sales pitch, but he has agreed to join our channel and have an open discussion about gaming and the future of gaming and P2E and all of that sort of stuff with our team in the BFK Warzone channel. So that in itself should speak volumes in terms of the kind of people that we're talking to and the kind of trajectory that this project's on. So we know that the ultimate goal is to get to a point where the game is deriving its revenue from both on chart and off chart, which is so important that we've got two lots of revenue stream that comes from off the charts as well. Gets us to a position where that ecosystem is self-sustaining, and then we can eradicate our transactional taxes and look seriously at some of the big CEXs. That's our end goal. But we can't do that overnight. We understand, and again, that's why we've got a long roadmap. We can't do these things and press the button on that overnight. If Binance came to us today and said, let's list, we couldn't do it because we don't have the money to develop, and to do all of these things. We're relying on all these income sources. So our business plan is a long one. Our token we are promoting as a holder because there's going to be ridiculous growth on the thing, but those looking for a 2 times, between today and tomorrow are going to be sorely disappointed. So that's why we're being so transparent about our roadmap and our business plan, so that we can show that this is a project that is going to be around for years, not weeks or months.
Hey, I'm just curious to get into the community questions and stuff like that. I'm super excited about that. Let's see what the the community has to say. All right, so feel free to drop your questions below. A lot of great questions I'm seeing here. So Tiffy asked, in the digital world, copyright protection, is extremely important. So how does that work? So how is it guaranteed that for the system that you're the real owner in the NFT marketplace? Sorry, you're the owner of the NFT in the marketplace. And what if people who create this NFT but make a little change to it, besides the data itself? Is there something that you guys are doing in a sense for that, or?
Yeah,
I think it's important to go on, Vic, please.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Matt. The thing is that I want to mention is that game since the beginning has been copyrighted. Okay. And when you lay down a quick copyright, it just doesn't happen, in a day or two. This is a process to achieve it, starting by a business plan, the GDD, which is the game design document, and then we have the legality of the game, provided that it is tested and it's just reviewed by esports kind of operators. So we have done all of this in the UAE, and in the UAE, the process is very roughly divided process. So it took us around 3 months to have our copyright approved. So based on the copyright, we have stated the entire game with the technology we have, the stack tech, including the marketplace, the website, the merch store, any type of technology, any type of design, anything that is in relationship to BFK or its assets to be deemed that is covered by this copyright from the UAE, GCC, and internationally applied to the legal zone that we are at on. So in terms of this, anyone can probably in a decentralized world, just grab our contract, copy it, and use it. This is part of the decentralization of this word, and this is why what we are supporting. And technically, we are not hiding it. This is not the point. But the point, when we achieve a point, we see somebody who's trying to copy and paste or imitate or just use specific uses, which relies on our patent, copy it directly or just take our identity or use it for many terms. We can actually legally go forth and apply for a type of warning and a type of lawsuits, and this is something that is completely secured by the UAE law firms and the governance of the UAE in terms of this. Not only that, I would like to mention that the UAE lately introduced something called the VARA, which is the Virtual Asset Management and NFT Management and Blockchain Management in the UAE. So we are already also scheduled to get this approved, and we're going to get this certificate, which actually adds to this on the blockchain side to be protected worldwide from any type of identity, any type of technology, or any type of copy we might get internationally. It's a rough process. I know this. I'm not saying this is set. We're going to just get it done, in a day or two based on if we get to the state where we have to, or we find out somebody is copying us, but it's there. So it's not like, we're going to be empty handed. No. And we already, have built our counsel and legal team to protect us for the future, because we know on the side of BFK, we have multiple IPs into it, multiple patents into it that we are using to improve the space, not just, have it done as a game and that's it. So I hope I answered your question. Matt, if you want to add up something, please go for it.
Yeah, I just want to add one. I just want to add one thing, and I think that it's very important from an NFT perspective to realize that all of the NFTs that we sell are playable within the game, and so we're not talking about selling a Bored Ape Yacht Club digital image that someone can make a copy of relatively easily. And obviously they don't have the proof of purchase of having the original one that's worth a lot of money. But the NFT has to exist on our contract, and it has to be a real BFK NFT to actually be able to be used in the game. So ultimately, if someone wants to copy the picture of Armis, that doesn't, it doesn't really have any value to them. And if they want to put it on their desktop because they like it, that's great. If they want to try and use it for any kind of business purpose, then we know that we have a copyright over their ability to use that. But someone will not be able to copy an NFT and get the gameplay benefits, which is the main focus of what our NFTs are about.
Okay. Great answer. So Young Trump asked, many different play-to-earn games come up with many different ways to reward its users, such as, introducing scholarships, players winning exotic cars, free travels, etc. So apart from earning, in-game rewards, do you guys, plan to have some sort of, IRL type of thing where people that, that are introduced to the platform can win these sort of prizes in order to keep players more engaged and excited?
Before V talks about, I asked V to talk about the kind of technical side of that, and
yeah,
but,
we already mentioned that, I guess.
Yeah, but I'd also really like to see the platform that promoted winning a Lamborghini, whether they've actually given anybody a Lamborghini. And I mean, we know that we have got a system in place, an ecosystem in place, and a secure and robust technical solution that means that we are going to be able to provide rewards to players which are valuable to them for a long period of time. And the biggest issue that's happened with P2E games is that inflation has effectively killed their reward system. So a player who joined in the early part and might have been earning a significant amount of money that they thought was actually valuable, any player that joins after the game is 3 or 6 months old doesn't have the ability to earn anywhere near that. And so if there's any project that's promising to give away in real life rewards that are worth in the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, that would seem to me to be the path to self-destruction.
Okay, interesting take. Okay, yeah, you do make a good point, because I remember there was like some of these play-to-earn games. I remember back in 2021 they had that thing where it's like the Lamborghini, you win the Lamborghini, and I just never seen. I didn't even think about that. Holy smokes! Yeah, totally right on that part. Here, so Adam says, so using the name Warzone, he just wants to ask, are you guys scared or like, what's the plan for, let's say if you were to get called out by the main game, what do you hold on, using the name Warzone. So I wanted to ask, in a case where you guys are called out by the main game, what plan of substance do you have, like a lawyer in your team, when called out for copyright? So I don't know if this was mentioned a little bit earlier, but
yeah, I mean, we have an international copyright already. So I mean, copyright is a sort of difficult and thing to tread around, and I'm by no means a lawyer. But we're not representing ourselves to be like anyone else. Everything that we have got has been designed and built from scratch. And even as you would have seen, the 40s, the characters that are part of our game were originally sketched out really roughly by V, and have evolved in turn and turned into the characters that we have. After a lot of work by some very specialised 3D artists and a lot of effort by V and Jaden in particular. And we've set out to design these characters with a certain style as well, and that they are childlike, if you like. They don't have a physically scary appearance, and that was done on purpose to help us achieve a rating within the Play stores, which enables us to be downloaded by it's a PG-13 rating, which enables us to be Or is that right, V? It might be younger than that.
Yeah, yes. Do you hear me first? Let me just check.
Yeah, we hear you perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to just make sure that the word Warzone is not actually owned in terms of word on its own, or the name, by any entity worldwide, because it falls off on a word that is used, globally, like a Wikipedia thing that is available in the dictionary and just means a fight, which is a war or warlike or anything that is related to something happening with action. So this is the way that you have to use, and you have to understand that using this word may apply trademarks, surely, but some of them apply for design and phrase combination, if you want to call it. So when you have a phrase combination that is far away from, for example, Activision, Call of Duty, Warzone, it's not falling in the category where there's going to be any infringement into this, We're using BFK Warzone, which is stating the combination of phrases and words is absolutely unique for us. And we are falling on the 2D side that has nothing to do with, the 3D kind of games we are seeing. And eventually for the future, when we come on to say BFK Warzone 3.0, no one is going to mix BFK Warzone with Call of Duty, because the word Warzone is falling in a combination of phrases. If you can look very well, you never see the Warzone on its own in a gaming term. You always see Call of Duty and you see brackets and then Warzone going on there. This is the combination of word they have been known at. So they never launched a game called it Warzone. They call it Call of Duty, and then they give it the name, which is the subtitle, combination of word, which is Warzone. If that was the case, we couldn't register it under BFK Warzone, because as you know, when you file for registration or copyright, you get, reviewed first of all by the naming, getting approved first, and then get the name. So yes, we have thought of this. Yes, we always make sure that our trademarks are falling into a level of determination of our rights worldwide. But to this extent, after we've reviewed it with our counsel, it doesn't, infringement any kind of trademarks worldwide in terms of the combination of names.
Yeah, and just having a look at Call of Duty, like they've got, as V said, that was just one version of the game. They've had Call of Duty Black Ops, World at War, Modern Warfare, Vanguard, all of these other ghosts. These are certainly other words. Call of Duty Warzone is just the latest version of. But these they don't own the term Black Ops. They don't own the term modern warfare, World War III, and so forth. It's just an extension of the name. Call of Duty is the actual brand. Warzone is the version. So yeah, we're not worried about that. But that said, we do have a pretty comprehensive legal counsel based in Dubai as well, and we certainly looked at that when we went into it. Battle Fort Knox, BFK is our brand. Warzone is the is essentially like the version of BFK, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, Jake asked, people engaging, a lot in gaming projects and nowadays about, the play to earn. And, will you guys, keep having tokens to keep paying out, these sort of rewards? And do you guys, consider would ever do like, halving, if you know what a halving is? Generally, how will you sustain the rewards payouts, so there's, more buying pressure as compared to selling pressure?
In terms of technicality on this side, obviously we've thought of this. That is why I mentioned first that we have an algorithm calculation that is happening. Okay, so in terms of what users can earn from BFK and what users have to put through BFK, we did not limit anyone at that stage to access the game based on the requirements that all other project has been doing. Because all our other project has been doing is just using the liquidity that is coming from the players and the liquidity that is coming from the investors, and trying, to mix them up and just, after all, provide back some of the earnings, to the users based on the pool, which is the blockchain, by selling on it. It does work in a format, but to a certain extent, it dies after all. That's why the algorithm we have implemented in BFK has limited earnings. BFK is a game that provides earnings in limited form. It doesn't mean it doesn't have earnings. The beautiful part, it does have this type of earning locked in 100 million token at first stage. And these 100 million tokens, when they are actually acquired, they're not acquired directly, dropping them to your wallets. We have a system that we call vesting, similar to what you're mentioning on the halving side, but the vesting side is incorporated in the ranking system. We like always to give it, the type of story and the type of signature of a game, not just, on a technical side, say, yes, here you go, you're going to get vested, blah, 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 1 to 3 points. No, it's part of your commander ranking. So the higher you rank in BFK, the more you're going to get, loyalty, and the more you're going to get trusted. And the more you get trusted and more you get loyalty at a certain extent, you are able to withdraw these earnings. This is how it works on a vesting method. So anything that you engage in game, you will earn them based on the effort, and you're going to have them in your central wallet, and you're going to be able to withdraw limitation of these based on your reputation. This is one. So we are limiting that, and we are also throttling that based on how much effort you are putting into the game. Some people do not want to access the earning system. They can just trade, they can make a buck by trading, and this doesn't involve the earning. The only way you have inflation is by not controlling the earning, not just changing the way you are providing the earning. It's just controlling it. So, because as you know, the blockchain is something that is spread over time on 24-hour basis. It doesn't work like from 8 to 10 and then it closes. No, we can have always kinds of engagement happening on an interest base when we are coming on a CEX. We're going to have trading volumes obviously coming in. This is where the blockchain helps the earning, but we do not have earning counterpartying the buys and sells to destroy them because it's balanced. The algorithm knows this. So we're going to watch our market cap, trading volume, and the earnings are based rewards on this trading action. This is how we equate, in terms of sells and buys automatically by the system on its own, logged into 100 million token. When these 100 million token gets withdrawn, obviously you're not going to get withdrawn directly because we've studied it. This is going to take time. We also control the number of players we have. So the number of players we have are controlled based on stages. Instead of opening this game for the world, obviously we're not going to be able to feed a million player coming in, just selling on our chart. This is how we kill ourselves. No, that's why we're unlocking it per stages. We call them CCU, concurrent players. We start with 500, then up to 1,000, then up to 1.5K, 2K, and then we move on. This is how we are securing the evolution of BFK, watching the blockchain grow as we go also side on the terms of our contract. And don't forget that we have an income tax coming in, and we have it already, and we have multiple income stream. We are always providing back in the liquidity. We are always putting back in the rewards, and we have them always split. So selling on our chart is not going to be a problem because obviously when this is going to happen, we already have done a lot of work, vested this player for a longer time, and know that our cycle is working fine. We are trying to stabilize the game. We are not just providing earnings up to everyone just to say, look at us, we have the most player. So it's a very well-controlled system. And obviously when we start going for further time, we can unlock for more players and controlling our ecosystem by having a circle of players that are, sitting in terms of community based. And then, we unlock it slowly worldwide more as we go. This is how we secure it. Don't forget we have cash flow coming in. We're going to have some injection coming in. We will provide an OTC off the chart system also coming in. So we do not always sell on the chart. Basically, this is the plan.
Okay. I think we're. Let's take one more actually. So I'm super interested because this is like we've done a decent amount of play to earn games on AMAs and stuff like that, but this one's kind of different. I really like it that you guys have like this system where it's like, because I've never even thought of that when adjusting to new players to joining and stuff like that. That you guys have that system where, as more players join and stuff like that, the rewards are lessened and lessened. I didn't even think of that.
They are dynamic, just like the blockchain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So Genzi asked, your NFT character is known as a Forties, and each playable character offers unique strengths, weaknesses, and an origin story that creates an alternative gameplay experience while incentivizing strategic tactics. Psychologically, people crave adjustment. Character customization is a big deal in gaming world as it draws players into the story. Will BFK Warzone allow players to customize their characters, and will there be a fee?
Hell yeah. This is the first answer I'm going to give it. The first success I want to discuss about Fortnite wasn't the game itself. The game itself got some success. It was how much you can customize. And it was the full-blown introduction for the customization that, after all, also the Battle Royale games like PUBG followed. And that's why they went free to play, because they were trying to cope up with the customization Fortnite is providing. And now, as you can see, with the Warzone 2.0 coming in, which is Call of Duty, you can see the amount of customization they are pulling in. Even Battlefield itself, when they just launched, they just ate the apple. They had so much bugs, it was crazy. And then they started, understanding that they need to fix these bugs, customize it, give flexibility to players, because this is the trend we are living in now. After the Battle Royale hits, all things are now customizable. You're going to have your best weapon. You want to have your best outfit. You want to have your best, type of equipment. That's it. Why BFK also is providing this. And the crazy part, they are NFT based too. They rank too. So this is part of, any game that you play in terms of a long-term story game. Just like, for example, the open world of PUBG and Battle Royale, you are able, to scrap and mix and do things and, forge new weapons at this state and skins. So BFK has this mentality, and I already mentioned it. It's called the IFS. That's our technology token. But now, which is the closest thing, we have 5 contracts running into this. We have the equipment contracts that we have, which is actually stating NFTs that are customizable. We have skins included, customizable. We even have the weapon fire animation, customizable per colors. We do have also our weapons. We have a contract just for weapons coming in, customizable. And all of these are, if you just look at the NFTs, for example, look at Armis, you can tell that he has a camouflaged caliber 50, this is a 50 cal. But you have to know that this is a skin. We also have the black version of that 50 cal, which is it's available in our bootcamp. So yes, definitely, I wouldn't see a game running in this beauty without customization. That will actually kill the future of the game, because imagination is key. Customization gives ability, to unlock yourself in a game where you want to just be different. So yes, I agree with you, and it's already planned, and it's already implemented too.
Okay, thanks. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we're going to get into, because we're almost crossing around 2 hours right now. Get into trivia. Alan has some great has a great trivia planned out. It's going to be a Kahoot, just like last time, just like last AMA. You guys really seem to like that. I really like that question, Genzi. By the way, I think I gotta pick that for the best question. Genzi, that was a great question. All right. I think Alan is here. I think he's here. Alan, are you here? Just want to make sure he's here. His Telegram's been bugging. His Wi-Fi's been bugging recently. So, here. Is he here? Hold up. Let me text him. Give me a second. His Wi-Fi's been just like killing it recently. Like, it's terrible. So he's been using data. Oh, I think he's here. Can you guys hear him? Alan, we can't hear you.
Hello. Sorry, I had my mic on mute my physical mute, but my thing was, oh my bad.
No worries. Okay, yeah, Alan, do you have the Kahoot ready?
Yeah, of course I do. I've got a couple questions lined up. If there's any more you want to add, shoot me a DM quickly.
Okay, sure. Yeah. If Jaden or Matt, I sent Alan some questions. Alan came up with some questions as well. Matt or Jaden or V, if you guys want to think of, some difficult questions you want to add to the Kahoot, feel free and just like shoot me a DM, and of course the answer as well.
Of course, yeah. Just shoot me a DM real quick, and then we'll get them added up. But
You guys get started. You guys get started. I've got a couple of questions. I'll send you CryptoFrog and DM. Just give me 2 secs. But if you want to start asking, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
wait, hold up. I think for now we'll pick a random giveaway winner for now until Matt sends me two or I think we just need about 2 or 3 questions left. Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might do something little before we get started. Do you wanna scroll and I'll tell when stop?
Sure. Let's do that. Here, hold up. Let me. Okay. Go now.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. When should we stop? Stop.
Okay. Oliver Jake, CryptoFrog's Gems officer. His username is Oliver L. CryptoFrog's Gems. I'll send. Congratulations, damn! Everyone's rocking the name. Looks great.
I think it was from the last AMA. Everyone said add CryptoFrog's Gems and now something.
Oh, that's probably why everyone
was adding it.
Yeah, congrats, Oliver. Okay. Yeah, so we'll get trivia right away. Dude, I gotta give it to Genzi, man. That was a great question. Genzi, I'm gonna pick you as the giveaway. Usually we do them after, but dude, that was such a great question. I see everyone's thumbsing it up, if that's a word.
Summing it.
We'll send you over the app.
Hey man, I just DM'd you 3 questions.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Oh man, these are already questions we literally had the same questions. We literally had the same questions, I swear. Here, I'll
actually, the last was quite unique. I like the last one.
Yeah, the last one's unique.
I mean, I'll add that up to that. But we basically got the same questions, I can't lie.
Let's do... Yeah, the last one's unique, but the first 2, that was already on our list and everything. Hold up.
I think I'll add this last one, and then if you got one more, that's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, Matt, give us one more.
Yeah, okay.
I actually heard of GameX, which is quite interesting. I've heard of that. That's cool.
How about that?
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Send over that one.
I'm guessing the correct answers are the ones in bold, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, I got 7 questions now.
Okay, perfect.
We'll add one. The last one you sent me, make it 8.
Okay,
and
wow.
Yeah, fantastic. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay. You know what? This time I won't play it because it kind of caused a little bit of trouble last time. So I ended up getting second. But yeah. You ready, Alan? You got everything set up?
Yeah, I'm just finalizing right now.
Okay.
Save. And we'll be ready to go in just a moment. BFK trivia. Play now. Fantastic. Well,
you gotta share your screen.
It's 1 sec. It's a little bit late in most of Europe right now. So curious to see how many will get jumping on, but hopefully it'll be more than enough to have some good fun. Once again, I'm going to post up the link in just a moment, and I'll share my screen. If you want to stop sharing your screen, I think you have already, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done that,
mate. Share screen. Wow, this has really been a long AMA, huh? Super in-depth. Nearing the 2-hour mark in a few minutes here. Fantastic.
We got a great review for you guys covered. Spending a lot of time on it. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So you guys are, if you know there's something that you were missing or any unanswered questions, hopefully you can could ask Jade and V or Matt, or if you want to take a look at the review we have in store, it's pretty good. It's a good one.
And guys, obviously come join our Telegram as well. We've got a really great community over there. There's, all of the community helps answer any other members' questions. We've got a great team of admins and mods as well, which are online 24 hours a day and all there to help you with any questions that you might have.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we are ready to go here. All right, lovely stuff. Post up. Let's see what happens. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Kahoot, it's basically a platform where people like you guys can join up into a trivia and answer questions. The quicker you answer the correct answers, the more points you get. And the more points you get, the higher up on the leaderboard. And the higher up on the leaderboard, the more BNB you can win. So I think the last one we did was $25 for first place, $10 for second, and $5 for third. So yeah, I think it's going to be great fun. Hopefully you guys will battle it out to win some BNB tonight. But do remember, guys, to join up with your Telegram username. So if you don't have your Telegram username, your win could be invalidated because we never know who it is. We've had some instances where people are like just change their name to whoever was on screen last minute and end up pretending like they're the winners. But remember to enter with your Telegram usernames. Israeli in there is making another appearance. I've seen this guy quite a few times. I got Mike in here, Mumpie, James. James, a what do we call him? A Kahoot professional, almost. But yeah, we'll let this fill up to about 25 people, and then we'll get started. Hope you guys all enjoyed the AMA so far today. It's been pretty fun. Definitely one of our longer AMAs, but I've been sat here listening.
Okay, I think we should give like 20 seconds for everyone to join because I feel like a lot of people are just getting kicked from the Kahoot thing. You notice?
I don't know. A lot of people get disconnected. I'm not too sure why.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll give them 20 seconds and then should be plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you guys 10 more seconds. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0.1, 0.5, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. All right, let's get going here. BFK trivia. Let's see. So, question 1. What chain does BFK plan to launch on next? Bear in mind, I've come up with all these questions myself, most of them, so I hope they're all correct. You guys got 9 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ETH. You guys are all correct. Ethereum is the next chain BFK wants to launch on. Great progress with the BSC version so far. Wow, Gabriel with 1,000 points. I've never ever seen that before. Hope this guy's not cheating, but that was superbly quick. Jeez. All right. Well, on to question 2. When will the ETH version launch? Approximately. This is just an approximate estimate. Is it mid-2023, early 2023, end of 2022, or April 2023? What are we thinking?
I see what you did there. That's a lover.
Yeah. Well, most of you got that right. It is early 2023, but no one fell for the exact day, huh? No one fell for it. Who knows? But good stuff. Congratulations. James in first place, making another appearance. On to question 3. What is the current buy tax on BFK? If you guys looked at the chart, tried to buy, you guys should definitely know the answer to this. It's pretty easy. See the answers speeding up as you guys frantically run to the chart to check. What's the buy tax? Let's find out. Well, the answer is 8%. Wow, that was really a bit of a breaker, huh? 8% is the buy tax, 12% is the sell tax currently. But that kind of knocked most of you guys out there. Let's see, Sheesh in first place, AB in second, and James down to third. On to question 4. What award did BFK Warzone win at GameX 2022? You guys should know this. It's all over the website, all over Telegram, all over everything. Should be easy. And the correct answer is Best Action Game. Only one of you guys got that right. Wow. Let's see who that one person is, though. That's definitely going to make an appearance on the leaderboard. It is... You don't know. 5 players just dropped the answer streak of 3. Wow. Definitely interesting. You guys should know that, man. What's the main difference between BFK Warzone and other blockchain games? What is it? What's the main difference? Is it the community, the guns available, the story of the characters, or the earnings you get? It is the story of the characters. So obviously throughout the AMA we've heard lots about the different characters and the story behind them. It's kind of what differentiates BFK Warzone from other blockchain games. You know, a lot of other games, they just tend to like make an NFT and then that's their character, and then there's nothing really about the character. BFK is a lot more in-depth than that. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Wow, huge changes. Sidic Seville, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry if I just butchered it, but up in first place, Sheesh in second, Metaboy in 8th, and AB down to 4th, James in 5th. Let's have a look. Question 6 of 8. What's the APY for staking your BFK for 360 days? Another easy number one. What could it be? I know what it is. You guys, though. Who knows? And it is 100%. A lot of you fell for the exact 22%, but 100% is the rewards for 1 whole year of staking. Crazy. Makes me want to stake. Wow, huge changes in the leaderboard again. AB in first, Metaboy second, and James in third. Good stuff. On to the penultimate question. Was the game BFK is similarly trying to compare its marketing style to? A lot of good options here. Is it CSGO, Fortnite, GTA, or Angry Birds? What could it be?
You really had to tune in the beginning to see about the. Wow.
Jeez. Only one person's got their ears turned on, huh?
You had to come in at the beginning.
Crazy, yeah. That was right at the start. I think a lot of people joined us halfway through.
Yeah. So they heard about the Fortnite one earlier, but that's not, what they're trying to compare their whole marketing gist style to. Fortnite, they just mentioned
it's not.
and stuff like that, but Angry Birds, damn.
Exactly.
Only one.
That's right. Well, let's see what happened to the leaderboard. Nothing. Wow. Let's see who's going to come out on top in the last question. Which of these is a revenue stream for BFK? Which of these? I'm going to give you a hint. You guys got to answer this question quickly for max points. You've got to answer this quickly. Quick. Well, let's see what the correct answer is and who comes out on top. It's a trick question. It's all of them. Yeah, so there are more than four, but four main revenue streams for BFK currently. Working on releasing limited edition merchandise through, what they're doing, minifigures and stuff. The token tax, of course. Automated trade buying as well. They're trying to use some funding to fund grid trading. And through grid trading, they're using the profits of that to, gain revenue for BFK. They're 90% done with that, I think. So I'm excited to see what happens from there. Might have to follow them. And NFT sales, of course. So let's see who was quick on the answers and who got the most points to change the leaderboard. Let's have a look. In third place, we've got Metaboy. In second place, we've got AB. Does that mean James is in first place once again? This guy, every single AMA we go to, every single Kahoot we do, this guy's on the leaderboard somewhere. Honestly, really, really deserves it. At this point, he's been doing great. Well, James, congratulations on winning $25 worth of BNB, AB for winning 10, and Metaboy for winning 5. Super exciting. We had a lot more questions than last time,
Yeah,
a lot more questions than last time.
This one was super exciting. I like this one.
One of the more challenging
100%.
Kahoots for sure.
The team at BFK, what did you guys think of the Kahoot? Because it's kind of, something new that we're doing. What do you guys think overall of it?
Yeah, mate, I like stuff that gets people involved and kind of rewards them for having sat through and listened to the details. It's great to be able to do that. We've had a couple of different AMAs where they've done similar sort of trivia questions. None run as well as this. Running it through that system also works really well.
Yeah, same thing. I enjoyed it a lot. It's very important.
Yeah, great engaging community. It's really good content there too.
Thank you, guys.
Shows the depth of understanding of gaming, not just crypto. So it's nice to see those gaming-centric questions because they're the ones we love the most.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't too involved this AMA, but I was definitely listening along. Yeah, it was really great to have you guys on the channel. And yeah, definitely one of our longer AMAs, but it pays off.
Thank you guys so much for coming on, Matt, Jaden, and V. It was a pleasure having you guys on. I'm super excited, for not just the short-term vision, but the long-term with you guys having your own, moving to ETH and then getting those trading bots up. That's going to be super exciting. And
yeah, guys, and thank you for organising. Like I know you guys put a lot of work into these sorts of things, and the work that you've done in creating that summary document for your group members is really good to see. So, as I said before, if anything's not answered in there, or if you want to come and join us over in our main room at BFK Warzone, feel free. We've got a great community, and we'd love to have you.
Thanks, and that's just not to me, to guys. It's just to all of you guys, listening on BC as well. So, congratulations to everyone, just listening and learning more about projects in general and seeing hey, if this has potential, it's something that caught your eye. Feel free to check it out and dive more into the project itself. Thank you so much, Jaden, Matt, and V for hopping on. Definitely the first Australian devs we've talked to on the AMA. It's very cool to see. Just the differences there. So really great to have you guys on.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good night, everyone. And thank you to the Frogs as well for joining. It really means a lot. We saw about 150 people at the peak, but now we're down to around 90, which is totally fine. It's a little bit late for some people, but great to have everyone on. Thank you guys so much for joining, everyone. We're just going to end off the VC here. As always, we have an AMA scheduled tomorrow. This one's super exciting. Another play to earn game in aspect, but they're doing a pre-sale. I guess that's coming up very soon. And then, man, I'm excited for Friday's one. We got some. It's very cool. So excited to have you guys on, and a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces as we keep doing these AMAs and stuff like that. It's really great to see the community. What we're going to be doing, I guess, in the winter break is that I'm planning to create a group chat where it's very, very exclusive to get in, and we're going to be giving one person to join, invite link every single day during the winter break. And then after that, we're going to invite one person per week. And then it's going to be really cool. And there's going to be exclusive giveaways in there and all this other stuff. So we're super excited for that. Just only the active members of our AMA. We want to keep it very exclusive and keep it very, very active in the chat. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining. It really means a lot. Good night, everyone. And thank you all for joining. And always thanks for Alan for running the Cahoots.
Thanks,
it's been a pleasure, man. This is always great fun.
See you guys.
Bye.
Amazing.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good rest.